we talk about music and only music. Introducing today's host, Balls of Meat Pete and Brian Offredi.
Hey guys, this is Balls of Meat Pete here, and I don't even know what to start. I'm super fucking excited. Thanks for being here, guys, for the PB and Jam show. Yeah. This is a podcast that me and my buddy Brian decided to do just out of nowhere. We just wanted to talk about music and get the word out there and just have some discussions, because we have these discussions anyway, so we thought we would just share it with the people. I'm one of your hosts, Balls of Meat Pete. If you don't know me already, I'm actually a super famous YouTube star. I have a total of 635 views of all 11 videos that I have.
That's impressive.
So it is, yeah. People, it's growing. So it actually means that my mom watches a lot of YouTube of me. It's fantastic. And sitting to my right is one of my great friends, Brian Offredi, and he's a musician.
Yeah, I'm currently in a band called Golden BC, and I just put out an album, I think, last November, so I've been kind of working on a follow-up to that the last little while. Starting to play some shows around Calgary, and Pete talked to me about possibly doing a podcast, and when he mentioned that he had 634 views, I was taken aback.
Yeah, we're taking over the world one view at a time. Very slowly, actually. That's how we like to do everything.
Exactly. It's extremely slowly, but pinpoint accuracy.
So how many albums is that for you? Because you got a couple albums out there, right?
That's my third, not counting like EPs and stuff. But it's my third album. I'm working on my fourth right now, and it's kind of fun.
So you're rolling. Okay, that's us. That's who we are. And of course, we're going to be talking about music, and we're going to bring you all the hard-hitting stuff. But we thought the very first episode was we're going to talk about one of our mutual favorite bands and their latest album, Queens of the Stone Age. Love these guys to death. Brian, I know he shares the same view that I do, and so we thought it'd be a great idea to actually review their new album, Like Clockwork. So we're gonna break the album down song by song and give our opinions on it, and talk a little about Queens of the Stone Age. So, what do you think, Brian? You got anything to say about Queens of the Stone Age?
Honestly, one of my favorite bands ever since I heard Songs for the Deaf. They're the most original sounding band, where like every album sounds completely different from the one before. And I was actually saying to you earlier today that each album kind of almost, because they're so drug influenced, each album almost sounds like a specific type of drug high, where you have like their Songs to the Deaf sounds to me it sounds like smoking weed and driving through the desert, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got you got Lullabies to Paralyze, which is like doing mushrooms in the woods, and then you've got Era Vulgaris, which just sounds like straight up like meth to me.
Yeah.
And this new album to me is a lot more subdued. It's probably the most personal lyrics wise.
Yeah, totally. I got that feel for it too, and it's like you said, it's great. There's so many different influences of Queens of the Stone Age in every album they do, but what's great is that you always know it's Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah. It's like they change their sound, but you always know it's them, and I love that for them. So, and yeah, like Clockwork is the new album. For me, it was like a bit daring. There's definitely a couple songs on there that has that Queens feel, but it also adventures out, and they do this new thing, and we're going to break it down, and we're super excited. It's one of my it's one of my favorite albums in the last 5 years for sure. Okay, so just some quick facts before we start breaking down these songs about Like Clockwork. This is actually the highest U.S. chart position to date for Queens of the Stone Age. It's the first album that they've had that has actually topped the charts in the U.S. Trent Reznor's on a couple songs. Elton John has an influence on there, and they had sales of 91,000 copies in its first week, so pretty impressive. It's one of their biggest albums to date, and god damn, I know why. It's friggin' awesome. So, so we're... you ready to start breaking down the songs?
Yeah, let's start
we'll give our opinions?
Yeah, let's start with a little clip from the first track, Keep Your Eyes Peeled.
Okay, awesome. Play it. Okay, so sweet. That was the first song, Keep Your Eyes Peeled, a little clip there. God, it was really bluesy, sludge kind of sound to it. I really liked the song, but it made me a little worried at first about... I thought it might actually give that groove for the whole album, and I didn't want it to be sludgy and really dark. I really thought it might kind of set that tone, which it doesn't. But, listening to it more and more, Great song.
Yeah, like for me, I'm a big feel guy, and like for the music that I listen to, I always kind of get a feeling or like imagery in my head. Like I'm always just kind of, when I listen to music, I always think of how the music video would look, right? And for me, like the song just, it feels like a drunk guy like wandering out of the bar looking for a fight. Like it's kind of like slow, staggering walk, just like looking to punch someone in the face. And that's why like the cartoons and the animation that accompanied these were just like, it was so awesome to watch like the fighting and stuff in the videos for like Keep Your Eyes Peeled.
Yeah, it gave you that, it has a very dirty sense to it. Like it's grind. It's bluesy sludge is the best way I could describe it. It's just but great song. So we're ready to move on to the next song. I Sat by the Ocean. Do you want to play the clip?
Yeah. All right, so that was I Sat by the Ocean. For me, like the opening riff really sounds like. Have you ever heard? Like I'm sure you've heard it. The Billy Squier song, "Everybody Wants You."
I'd have to hear it. Oh yeah, everybody wants you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I heard this song, I was watching their live online like stream of their concert, and they started playing. I'm like, are they covering Billy Squier? Like, it sounds just like. And obviously, it gets different. Like, it's totally different. But for the first like initial bit, I'm like, it's Billy Squier. It's so weird.
It's awesome, right? Yeah.
But I gotta say, this is easily like my top, like one of my top 3 favorite songs on the record. I absolutely love it. It's classic Queens. It sounds like it's taken right from their last album, like Era Vulgaris. And it just sounds, I don't know, I just love the lyrics in it especially.
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree with you more about being one of the favorite songs on the album. It just, I don't know what it was. Like, for me, it had, like, this wicked wah sound, and, like, also, there's these points where Josh, is it Hom or Homie? What the hell is this guy's
I think it's
last name?
Homie.
It's Homie? Okay, whatever. The singer, there's these times where he really hits, like, these notes that takes me back to, like, this 50s crybaby music, like, like, a cappella style, but wah, wah, wah.
No one does the higher notes like he does.
Yeah, and so, like, there's just parts of that really reminds me of that, right? And like, at first I was a bit questioning it, but he really pulls it off. So, it's got like this 50s beach groove, but very modern. And yeah, this song is just friggin' awesome.
Cool. All right, so let's jump right ahead to The Vampire of Time and Memory.
I want God to come and take me home.
Okay, so Vampire of Time and Memory. Definitely slowed down the pace pretty quick after, the Keep Your Eyes Peeled is kind of slow and bluesy, and then you come out with like a huge hit by Sat by the Ocean, and then Vampire Time and Memory really slowed things down. But like, the more I listen to this song, it's got that. I love solos when solos aren't technically supposed to be there. Like, right after the first verse, they just bust into like this 1.5-minute solo, and it's awesome, and it's got this really eerie feel, which Queens pulls off the best, I think.
Yeah, and when I was mentioning before how each album kind of feels like it's like drug influenced, this song in particular makes me feel like the rest of the album's kind of like Hangover influenced.
Right.
It's very slow. He's talking about like God and like coming to take him home, and it's like probably one of the most sarcastic songs. Like, has most of the sarcastic, like he's always sarcastic in his lyrics, but the one lyric that's super sarcastic, he says, "I'm alive, hooray." And I'm like, I kind of had to laugh at that because I'm like, wow, I'm alive, hooray!
Yeah, and it's like, and it's almost there's this crooner aspect to it, right? Yeah. Like it's, I totally know what you mean, man. It was pretty good.
Well, it's totally influenced too by his time in like in the hospital because for those of you that don't know, he had surgery on his leg and he died on the operating table, right? And you can totally see it in the lyrics that like. He came out with a very bleak outlook. Some of the songs on the album, are very very bleak.
Right. So almost like inspiring to him to write more music, but not inspired in life.
Yeah, in general, it's not a great
you get, right?
Not a great outlook.
Yeah, I'm alive. Hooray!
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next one. If I Had a Tail.
If I had a tail,
Alright, so that was If I Had a Tail, and I gotta say, I have no fucking idea what this song is about.
Yeah, I know.
I listen to the lyrics
are a little out there for sure.
And like, apparently Josh wants to suck and lick things. I don't know exactly. I've had a hard time breaking through exactly what the lyrics mean on this one.
No, he also wants to grind and he wants to spit.
Yeah, there's also that.
Yeah.
That's true. I like to grind and spit too sometimes, but like, it's one of those things where it's such a great like. the lyrics really pissed me off the first time I heard it because I was like, "Gitchy gitchy ooh la la," and I was like, "What the."
And
what
even
is
the way,
this?
and even the way he even says like, "If I had a tail," it's almost, it's pretty cheeky.
It seems
it seems cheeky.
It sounds very Bowie-like. I found.
Very good point. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this song, but I literally do want to take my pants off and dance my ass off every time I hear it. There's just like, apart from the lyrics, whatever, the groove of this song is so badass, and like this awesome medley of like, you got some wicked organ in there and great guitars and the bass and you know what? Something about the lyrics does make me enjoy it too. Like, if I had the tail, I'd swat the flies.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, I don't know. Like, what do you did you dream of being a donkey once? You know what I mean? And like, or like, what are you really trying to say, right? I mean, we could dig into it really deep, and I'm sure it has, who knows if it has any political meaning or anything, right?
Well, it sounds like it's almost like he's trying to swat off the hangers-on in this one. Like,
right.
Like people are hanging on, he's trying to swat the flies or whatever, but like, it just, it's one of those songs that's like, it's a great song, but like, I just haven't been able to really crack exactly what the lyrics mean yet, because they're very strange.
Yeah, it's definitely very strange, but the music is awesome. Great song still.
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, awesome. Okay, on to the next one. My God is the Sun. Okay, this song is, in my opinion, on the album, Queens of the Stone Age in their truest form. This is a Queens of the Stone Age song that you will find a style of this song on every single album. It's just, they got this solos, and it's fast, and it's just, I don't know, it's them, and you know it's them. Yeah, I love this song. That's it.
For me, like, I love this song. It's a great single. One of the things it's strangely upbeat. That's the one thing. It almost seems like it's a great Queens of the Stone Age song, but it almost doesn't fit with like the bleakness of the rest of the lyrics.
Right.
In that sense, like it still fits perfectly musically with the rest of the album. But like, and the other thing too is like, I love about Josh Homme or Homme, whatever.
Yeah.
I love about Josh.
The singer.
The thing I love about Josh is that like, when you listen to him live, you can he meshes like he's a mouthful of marbles. That guy when he sings some of the songs, and so like even on this song, if you listen to like the chorus, I didn't know this until I read the lyrics that he says, "Heal them, bright fire from a gun, kneeling, my God is the sun." When I sing it in the car, I'm like, really?
Yeah, I thought it was feeling, but yeah, obviously we didn't write the song.
Yeah, I know. But when you look at the lyrics, you're like, holy crap! Like, I didn't know he says, I don't know what time it was. I don't wear a watch, and like that's.
I know it's okay. Yeah, exactly. But no one wears watches. We have cell phones, right?
Yeah, got my sundial. I don't know what time it is.
Exactly. But one thing I really do love about the song is how, like you said, it's upbeat, but like near the end, it doesn't stop getting upbeat. Right, like the solos kind of get on, and then you get these backing guys that go woo, and just kind of add that texture to it, and kind of keep building on that.
Well, it builds up to the end.
It just builds, and then just ends, and yeah, man. So that song is for me, it was a signature Queens of the Stone Age song on this album.
Absolutely. So let's go to the next one. We got Collapsia.
Is it Collapsia?
It's Collapsia.
Oh, Collapsia.
Alright, so that was Collapsia from Queens of the Stone Age's new record, Like Clockwork. I had to do some Googling because I was not familiar with the word, of course. I'm sure most people aren't. But apparently it's...
oh, you're not familiar with Collapsia, Brian?
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
You obviously didn't graduate high school.
Ouch! Shit. Way to hit me where I live, you prick. So apparently it means the delusion... it's the delusion of being... more beautiful than you are, basically, and that kind of applies to the song. I thought like it's the illusion of being more beautiful than you are, or whatever. And if you listen to the song, like it starts off really like creepy carnival music, and it's very kind of like slow and like dreamlike, and then all of a sudden it kicks in this like really ugly underside to it in the like kind of the chorus area. And I feel like that's a really the title really does say all about like the style of the song. That's
pretty awesome and deep, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean about how it does change the style. It starts off really, again, there's like this crooner aspect to the lyrics until it kicks in. And then it kicks back in, like it kicks back to the crooner style almost. And like just how he accentuates some of these lyrics at the beginning. Yeah, it's like this really slow, dark feeling and then builds up, and it still felt dark even when they jam that part out. It feels a little dark to me, but then that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it makes me when I listen to it on headphones, it makes me want to walk around being creepy with people. Just
yeah, exactly.
Sneaking up on them, just looking over their
Ooh,
shoulder.
why am I behind you right now?
Who are you texting right now?
Yeah, exactly. Better be me. Also, Trent Reznor lent some backing vocals on this.
Oh, you can tell.
I couldn't.
Well, you can tell
couldn't
there's
that
one
much.
part where like, you can hear like when it kind of like it's all building up near the end, and then you can hear.
Okay, yeah, and like I thought there was a Trent Reznor influence almost at the beginning. There's like these eerie Trent Reznor 9 Inch Nails sounds that kick in, and then the lyrics kind of start, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that, but I couldn't really tell personally on the vocals.
Okay.
But yeah, let's move on. Fair Weather Friends is the next song.
Yeah.
So what's it gonna take to get you back in bed?
Okay, Fair Weather Friends. Awesome. This song is growing on me and becoming one of my favorites slowly. Every time I hear it, I pick up something more about it that I really, really like. It starts off kind of really slow, and then it just kind of picks and builds momentums from there, and like there's just some really like they're almost subtle, but the guitar riffs are just awesome, and the momentum just keeps building, just like, you know, My God Is the Sun. Maybe not as fast paced, but there is a momentum there that just kind of builds and builds and builds almost like every second that continues.
For me, it's my least favorite song, and
Really?
like you said, it took you a while to grow, and you're like, the only reason I'm kind of starting to sing along to it now is because I don't skip tracks when I listen to a full album, because I like
Right.
every other song. I listen to it in the car or whatever, and I'll sing along to it. But the truth is, it's like it feels like it's almost not a Queen song. Like in sound it is, but it's just like the way the songs put together. It just feels like this could be anybody's song.
It could be a B-side for you kind of thing, or what?
It could honestly, it could have been cut from the record, and I wouldn't have missed it.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, we
I
definitely have a
honestly-
different opinion on that.
I know I'm a huge Queens fan, but like I definitely have to say this is the one song I would have cut. That said, like it's cool that Elton John's on there. I don't think he should be singing on that song because I feel like his backing vocals are just, you can hear them and they're so like obvious. You're like, oh, that's kind of grating almost.
Well, and also, like, I mean, also another little fact that Elton John actually requested to be on this album. There's a rumor out there that he phoned Josh Homme and he actually said, you need a real Queen on this album. So, you know, I never felt, for someone that actually almost demanded to be on the album, you didn't bring like a big presence that, I mean, if I never heard that Elton John was on this, I would have guessed he was on it.
Oh, you
so
couldn't
it was
tell it
kind of
from him,
like,
like, tickling the
well,
eyebrows?
that's the thing. Well, it's like, no, man, like that's
Yeah.
the thing. You can hear like a piano or something in the background there, but it's I can freaking do that. You know, I can hit those 3 notes or chords or whatever the fuck you're playing. You're not showing Elton John. So that's like, I mean, to kind of throw that out there, yes, it's kind of cool they work together, but for me, there was no like big Elton John impact there where it felt like he was actually on that track.
Well, that's the thing with that Queens kind of does really well is they collaborate with people, but they blend it in. It all gets absorbed in what Queens is. And
Right.
then you end up with like this song that's really identifiable with what like Queens of the Stone Age is, but you can't hear everyone. If you look at their past contributions, like the singer from the Strokes was on Sick 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 on Era Vulgaris.
Really?
You could not tell he was
No,
on this.
yeah, I didn't know that. That's a great fact.
But like, yeah, it's kind of good the way they do that, and I think that's why I don't like this song is because Elton John is just, you can hear him. You
Okay,
can hear him
yeah.
singing away, and it's just like, I don't want to hear Elton John. I want to hear like I love Elton John too, but like
Yeah.
this song, it just seems weird that he's on there.
But also, I just don't have like tight pants and like dangly shit to be listening to it and know that it's Elton John.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't hear
Where are my platforms? Elton John's on
I
this
can't
track.
hear the Donald Duck costume. So
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. Okay, so next song, Smooth Sailing.
It's all in motion, no stopping now. I got nothing to lose and only one way.
all right, so that's Smooth Sailing. And if actually, I want to show you this, Peter. I know you guys can't see this at home. All I did was underline the word strut.
Yeah. We were talking about that in the car on the way here, actually.
Like, when I hear this song, if I'm wearing headphones and I'm walking somewhere, I just kind of lean back a little further, start doing like the cartoon Ghostbuster walk.
Yeah, exactly, and like your knees kind of like buckle a little outwards, and like it's very hoedown, and I feel the same way. Like, I mean, when I run and listen to this song, like I pick up the pace, but I'm also like I'm swaggering my shoulders a bit, right? Like
Yeah.
this song, this is the best song on the album for me. Like it's. The groove is awesome. Like, I can listen to this song forever. There's such a cool swagger to this sound. There's one thing I fear about this song because it's so damn good and it's got like that sound that I'm scared some friggin' idiot out there is gonna remix it and club it somewhere.
They're gonna
like
do
it's
that,
it's I know, but I hate that. Like I hate that. I hate thinking of that happening to Queens, damn it. You know
my
what I mean?
brain.
Like that's my band,
You've
damn
ever
it.
heard the Broken Box remix?
No.
From Peaches, I think it was?
No.
Oh, no, it's the Uncle remix. Anyway, I just wanted to read a quick section of the lyrics from this, because the construction on the lyrics in this song, it blows me away, and my favorite one has to be, every time I hear it, I love the construction of the words. I'm burning bridges, I destroy the mirage, all visions of collisions, fucking bon voyage.
Yeah,
Every time I hear it, I'm like, fuck, that sounds cool.
I
Like,
know.
it just sounds cool to say.
And you know what? And I was hoping you're actually gonna have the same lyric that I wrote down. But my favorite lyric off this end of the near the end of the song is "I blow my load over the status quo. Here we go." And it's just like it's
the only song
gross as hell, but awesome. Like
it's so deep, man. 'Cause, like the jizz is like democracy.
exactly, and status quo is record labels.
Sure. It's one of those things, it's the only song I can say that I've ever really loved that had ejaculate in it.
Right.
So-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There you
and
go.
yeah, and there's no hidden message there. He actually does that, I think. That's fantastic. So next song.
We're going up to I Appear Missing.
Woo!
Shut me awake, tear me apart, and like I know that I feel God.
I Appear Missing. Oh my god, we haven't talked about this song too much, but I have this feeling that we just have this same love for this song. Like
Absolutely.
this I don't know what it is. It's almost like one of the most like different. It's so out there from the rest of the album, but it's like it puts everything together so well. This is one of the most eerie songs I've ever heard in my life, but it's incredible. Like it has this haunting effect to it, and knowing that the story of Josh being in the hospital and almost dying, and then that a lot of this album is from that. I think I mean this is just a guess, but I would assume this whole album based off this one song. This was probably one of the first songs he wrote coming out of there. It's like. It's about being in a coma, and when you really listen to it, it's like, man, I get it. The sound really delivers that feeling. The lyrics really deliver that feeling, and yet at the end, there's this wicked jam out, and god damn, I love it. It's one of my top 3 favorites on the album for sure.
Yeah, for me, like, this is the best song on the record, easily, and it's up there with the best that they've ever made.
Yeah.
Because the emotional high that they hit in the chorus, when they're like, shock me awake, tear me apart, like that chorus is just it's when it hits for me, it gives me chills because
It hits, man. It hits. Yeah.
it hits really hard, and just it feels like it's the most, like, because a lot of this music is very like sarcastically detached, it's the drug music or whatever, and for me this just feels like it's the emotional impact of a person like really being honest and like just being vulnerable.
Yeah, totally.
With the lyrics that he writes for this song, so I feel like that's why it's the best song, because it feels like it's the most honest thing he's ever written as Queens, and just the music on it is incredible.
Yeah, and like you said, there's like this honesty there, but there's also like, you would think going through that is a pretty scary thing, but you get no sense of that. Like there is this eerie, scary feel to this song, but even through the lyrics and stuff, it's almost like he's just explaining his experience, and that's it. Like you said, there's this detachment to it,
Yeah.
but it still delivers home. Like I don't know how the hell they do it, but they're so good. That's why they're so freaking good, man.
Yeah,
how the hell do they do it, right? Like
It is
goddamn.
absolutely. A lot of people are saying like, If I Had a Tail was like the high point of the album. I've been in a lot of reviews I've been reading, but honestly, this song is going to be like the essential Queens of the Stone Age song. Like it's going to be what all the other future albums are going to be like measured against for me.
It would be on a greatest hits if they ever do one.
Yeah, if they ever do one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you know what? I hope they haven't even made their greatest hits yet, because this band just keeps fucking blowing me away, man.
Oh, absolutely.
They're just amazing. So yeah, I Appear Missing. God damn, like awesome.
Fantastic.
Cool.
All right, so we'll go to the last song, the title track, Like Clockwork.
Everyone, it seems, has somewhere to go.
All right, so that's the last track on the album, the title track, Like Clockwork. It's a really slow piano jam to start off. It's super, I wouldn't say depressing, but bleak is a good way to put it. And at first, when I first heard it, I thought, like, what a weird way for them to end albums, because I'm used to, like, their albums are always ending in, like, a big jam or something like that. And
like big high notes, right?
Exactly, you go out with a bang. And when I listened to this, I thought, man, this is really the only way to like follow I Appear Missing. You have to like, you have this crazy song that is like, everything for the rest of the album comes together in this big emotional like song, and then you follow it with this slower piano ballad that kind of builds and like is very bleak, and it's just like it's I didn't think so when I first couple times I heard it, but it's the perfect capper for the rest of the album.
Yeah, you know what? And I feel the exact same way. Like listening to the album like a lot ever since it came out. I've easily listened to this album 20 times front to back, if not more.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. Like it's the perfect way to finish this album. It's really subtle, and it's got this great feel to it that it's almost like a nice goodbye.
Yeah.
For the album, like it's almost like a, you know, it's just like it's a great goodbye for an album, like just really end it off. Like I really enjoyed it as the last song. It did flow out really nice, and the piano was fantastic. You would hope that Elton John was on this one. You would have thought, like, because of the piano and the presence of the piano on this one, that might have been it, but that's not the case, so whatever. But, you know, Queens is awesome that way anyway. I love the line, not everything that goes around comes back around, you know.
Yeah.
It that just kind of hits home to me all the time, man. Like, it's just,
well, it's full of, the whole song's full of, like, little lyrics that are just, like, super downbeat, like, you know, one thing that is clear, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much, like, it's very nihilistic and kind of, it's a very downbeat song and a very weird way for them to go. Like, even on, like, Lullabies, they had Long Slow Goodbye close out the album, and that I thought that was a pretty slow closer.
Right.
Nothing, like, compared, just, like, how... It's almost like devastating how like sad he is.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
I
wow,
know.
Josh.
But he
like,
doesn't seem that sad. That's what's so nuts about it. Like, you would never get that from him.
well, because he's always
like,
got that sarcastic kind of like smirk to everything he does.
Yeah.
That it seems like, wow, like this is. I'm not sure if you're like kind of just doing a slow song because you can, or if this is like really real. And if it's real, then you really feel it because it's so unusual coming from this guy.
Totally. Yeah, like, and that really cements the album as a whole as well.
Yeah.
It is. They've reached out into like this territory that is, it seems so different, but also so natural for these guys, these great musicians that just like, they kill it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and Queens is one of the only bands out there I can't compare to anyone else. There's no one other band before them or after them, for me personally, that I can be like, these guys sound like Queens of the Stone Age, or these guys do.
Well, you could go back to Josh's previous band. You can go back to Caius and look at like his guitar, because he played with that band.
The double drummer band and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you can look at the guitar work and kind of see like some similarities, but reasonably, like with his voice, like what makes Queens is because it's the same as Nine Inch Nails. They have one driving force that drives the whole thing.
Right.
He's one central voice, and like essentially, it's one of those things where like if you took Josh out of Queens, it wouldn't be Queens.
Yeah, it's almost like everyone else can be replaced except for him.
And like
that's kind of sad because these guys are really good contributors to the album and stuff. But that's also kind of the way it is. Are you gonna have U2 without Bono? No. You probably could replace Edge and no one would like it, but you could.
Well, look at Guns N' Roses. Like, sure, they have to have two guitar players to replace Slash, but like, I'm sure people that are going to those shows are like,
yeah,
we're gonna watch chubby Axl Rose dance around.
There's a different element to it. Yeah, he's not really like the star, but. Yeah, so we agree. That was a great way to finish off the album.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, in conclusion for me, this is one of my favorite albums in the last 5 years. Like I said before, this album, even the first time I heard it, there was some songs that still had to grow on me, but it was like, god damn, you ever like, I've been enjoying music lately, but you ever just have one of those albums where it was just like, where have you been my whole life, you know? Like, this is one of those friggin' albums for me, man, where it was just like, I'm gonna play the shit out of you for a long time. Like, you've cemented a place in my life as one of my favorite albums. Absolutely. And it's been, what, a couple months? Like, god damn, like, I don't even think I've really let the CD grow on me yet.
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones where, like, you put it on and you start listening. Like, for me, I start listening to it on my iPod or whatever, and my iPod automatically loops albums. So I'll put it on and I'll listen to it through, and I realize it's playing again, and then I just don't bother changing it. I'm like, I'll just listen to it again.
Yeah, there's not, like, even though there's some songs that aren't necessarily my favorite, I never skip a song. And I think that says a lot. Like, that for me, when I really break down the album, there's such an even flow of material here between really, like, going out of the range, feeling like, like My God is the Sun is like such a signature Queen song, and, but really just changing things up, but also making it a complete package, and it just, the flow is awesome, and I think that's a huge thing in some albums for sure. Sound is evolving, and goddamn, like, if anyone does care, I don't care that much, but these guys gotta win an award, or these guys, if this band is ever gonna be acknowledged for their music, like, on a huge scale,
it should be now.
It should be now for this album, and this is the one that should get them a Grammy, if anything.
Yeah.
If we're looking at big scale prizes and rewards, right?
Yeah, and even though I talk shit about Fairweather Friends, like, realistically, it's the whole album I love front to back, and that's the one spot where, like I said, if it was cut, I wouldn't miss it. But I try really hard. I don't ever skip it because I'm like, I want to like it.
Yeah.
I want the whole thing to be amazing all the way through, and like it is growing on me. But that would be the one where I would be like, well, if you cut this song, the album still would have been great, and I would be okay. So.
Yeah, but I mean, even that being said, 1 out of 10. You know what I mean?
When do you find that now?
It's still manageable. Like, you can still listen to it, and it's like, you're like, yeah, it's just whatever about it. But nonetheless, you never skip it. And like how many albums nowadays do you get 9 great songs out of 10, like that you're like thrilled with, and there's just one that you're like, I don't hate it, but it's just meh, right? So it's a freaking great album.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Yeah, do you got any final thoughts on the album as well?
No, my big thing is that I've like I've said, I'm a huge Queens fan, have been for years. I've probably seen them live 5 or 6 times, and they're on tour right now. So I'd say, like, if you're not sure if you're a Queens fan, just go and see them play live. Because honestly, the first time I saw them, it blew me away. Like, I don't dance at concerts. I'm a bald, I'm a bald white guy. I don't have that kind of rhythm.
Yeah.
And I get out there and like I dance the whole show, and I'm grooving, and like it's such a good atmosphere. And like Josh is like making jokes and talking to the crowd and stuff, and like it's such a fun show.
Yeah. And I agree. I mean, I only saw them for the first time like 2-3 years ago with you at the Jubilee when they played
their first record.
Yeah, when they played what, Rated R? That's what it's called.
No, it's their self-titled.
Oh, the self-titled one.
Yeah.
So they played that one full, and then they came out and played all the hits. I didn't know anything off that record, and that was still one of my favorite shows ever. Like, I've only seen them once, and I watched them live on YouTube quite a bit, and get to see them August 8th, and like super pumped for that, man. And like, like Brian was saying, it doesn't, if you want to give this band a chance, give them a chance live if you get the chance, because it's like this, you won't find another band that's like Queens of the Stone Age. They're gonna play all this wicked music, and they're so good that you don't even need to know any of their old music to really enjoy the show.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, like the Jubilee here in Calgary, it's like a concert hall where like you go to see like B.B. King play live. And
yeah, you sit down and like...
And I remember we were up in the rafters, and we were rocking out so hard that I almost fell over the...
Yeah, I've never seen that place blow up like that ever. People were like smoking and shit in there.
Yeah,
and,
it was crazy.
People were freaking out. I've never seen that place ever like that before. And it was like, for a band just to like walk on and make that place explode like that. Yeah. And what was that, like 3,500 people? It wasn't that much. It's not that many people. It was
sold out, but it's not a huge venue.
It's a small venue, right? And like, so, so hopefully we've really helped you, influence you, and get this album. I strongly recommend it. If I was going to give it a rating out of 10, I'd give it like 9. I really have no big problems with this album and would recommend it to anyone.
I definitely give it a 9 as well. For me, like every time a new Queens album comes out, it eclipses the old one as like my new favorite. And this one hasn't quite eclipsed Era Vulgaris for me yet, but it's definitely on its way because it's just fantastic.
Totally. So it's still a solid collection for them, and they're going to keep going, and it seems like they're hitting their stride. So that's today's show. Thanks for joining us, and we're super excited to continue. We're gonna take a little break, and we will be back in a couple weeks with a brand new topic, and we'll just chat a bit more. I'm one of your hosts, Balls of Meat Pete.
And I'm Brian. Stay fly, you guys.
Take care.